Should you go to paramedic school before you join the pararescue pipeline? This is a question I get a ton, and I want to make sure you guys take these 4 things into consideration before you make your decision on whether or not you want to do this. So time is the first factor. Thinking about how much time it's going to take for you to complete that paramedic course outside of the military versus inside the military when you're getting paid and you're getting that time and grade towards your next rank. The second thing is finances. If you go to whatever school it is and you have to pay for your paramedic school, that's going to obviously require you to have a second job or some kind of other finances to pay for that thing. So you're working that job, and then on top of that, you're paying for this school. When inside the military, of course, they're going to pay for your school and your time to go to that. So while you're going through paramedic school, you're literally getting paid to get this accomplished, which brings me to my next point. You need to focus while you're going through paramedic school. Think about any of the other times you were going through school. If you're going through college, maybe you're lucky enough to get a scholarship so you can focus on the things that you're learning. It's the same thing when you're going to the military. If you have a job, which is going to paramedic school, you're getting paid literally to do that and work out. How much more time are you going to be able to devote to your studies and ensure that you're retaining all the knowledge necessary for you to get the job done correctly and be the best paramedic you can? Additionally, throughout that training, whenever you're doing the paramedic school inside the military, you're going to be getting some of the dirt medicine and some of the more specific combat scenarios that are more oriented to what your job is going to actually be. You're not going to be one of those people that are riding on the back of an ambulance. So the types of injuries and the way that you carry out your kit and everything that goes with that is going to be a little bit different than those who are in an ambulance, taking stuff out of those drawers that are in the back. Lastly, if you want to be able to continue through the pipeline with the same guys you graduated through selection, and you're one of those guys that has paramedic previously, you're probably going to skip ahead to one of the more advanced courses and not be able to go through with your team, which is not going to be as beneficial to you because you want to be able to stick with those guys that you know, and you want to continue to foster those relationships with those teammates that can push you and make sure you're staying on task. And they know you. They know you well because they spend a lot of time day in, day out through selection and every other course that you've been to together. So that helps out a lot whenever it comes to those times when you don't feel like studying and you see all the rest of your friends going out and studying. Personally, when I went into the military, I didn't have any background in EMS whatsoever. And, I found a passion for it. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to be in the military is for them to pay me to go to school and teach me how to be a good paramedic. And I think that the newest course does that. The MP3 course, they go from nothing to full-on paramedic plus, meaning they're going to teach you about chest tubes and a bunch of advanced procedures that most paramedics don't really get to do, but you will get to do as a PJ. So take that all into consideration. And personally, I wouldn't do any paramedic school before you go in, but if you're one of those people that you have, for some reason, extra time before you can go in and you have extra money, you can go ahead and go for it. It's not going to hurt you, but I will tell you that it's not going to also give you any kind of a leg up on selection. No one's going to look at, this guy versus that guy and base any selection criteria off of whether or not that person is carrying a certain qualification, because qualification is not what makes the person that we're looking to hire for PJ. What makes that person is their personality, whether or not they're able to make decisions on the fly and then back up those decisions with some sort of criteria for why they made that decision. And on top of that, we're looking for a person that has experience, can keep a cool head whenever there's pressure, and can continue with the mission and doesn't get frozen up. So my challenge to you all this week is to step outside your comfort zone. And whether it's going to volunteer at the fire department or going somewhere to step in front of an audience and give a speech, it's something that will progress your leadership style and skills, public speaking, and enable you to kind of think through some of what you're going to be doing and plan out some kind of a process. So main goal is work on building relationships, work on planning something, work on just who you are as a person and molding that into what people want to see whenever you get to selection, which is that person who presents as a leader, that person who presents as having confidence in their decision-making abilities and being able to back up why they made that decision. So as always, if y'all ever have any questions, feel free to hit me up anytime, Brian at howtobepj.com. I'm here for y'all. And if you have any suggestions on things that you want me to talk about or bring someone on to talk about, just let me know. I appreciate y'all continuing to listen, subscribe. Hit me up anytime. Later.